This might be one of the biggest fights of Sean O'Malley's career because Sean O'Malley has been getting criticized so much for falling off or never really being on, right? I mean, at the time, there was a period of time where people thought Sean O'Malley could be the next Conor McGregor, the next biggest superstar that the UFC could have, and people have just been reacting to the numbers he's pulling between different pay-per-views, to views he gets on Embedded and his interviews, and also later we're going to look at some sparring footage that O'Malley posted I thought was very interesting ahead of his fight with Merab. But yes, guys, Sean O'Malley is going to be fighting Merab Dvalishvili this weekend, guys. The UFC called me up, and the King of the East Coast decided to let them have an event over here. And I want to talk a lot about Sean O'Malley because obviously, look, he hasn't fought since he last fought Merab in September, and that was a loss. And he's gotten surgeries. I do think that people are also, like I said yesterday about Juliana Pena being counted out. I think Sean O'Malley's being counted out to a certain extent. Later on in the video, I'm going to reveal who I'm picking this weekend, but there's a lot on the line, as I said in the beginning, for Sean O'Malley, because if he loses this fight, what is next for him, especially at bantamweight? I think the only thing he could do afterwards is move to featherweight or something like that, because outside of that, of course, there will always be a fight for Sean O'Malley. He's always going to be able to get another big fight, but you guys have to understand, Sean O'Malley is on contract with the UFC and is probably getting paid a lot in that contract, so if Sean O'Malley starts losing fights and, let's just say he goes on a 2 or 3 fight win streak, UFC might not find it worth it to re-sign Sean O'Malley, paying him probably over $1 million or something like that. And seeing that Sean O'Malley, while yes, he isn't the big superstar, maybe like a Conor McGregor or other people you might point out, he still probably is getting paid a decent amount from the UFC because, let's be honest, the UFC, we've talked about this, has a star problem right now, and let's just be honest, O'Malley is one of the biggest stars, like it or not, and you guys, I know will say, oh, he's not a star. I think that speaks more of to how sad the UFC's roster is right now. But let's take a look, guys, because I want to show you guys just how bad Sean O'Malley's numbers are doing right now with Embedded and how this might translate to pay-per-view, because Sean O'Malley hasn't really been promoting himself at all. He took a break from social media. He hasn't even been in the public light. On Embedded, he literally revealed he had a baby, guys. Like, that is how, off the radar this guy is. Like, I didn't even hear of this. I want to take a look right now, guys, because Sean O'Malley is getting clowned pretty heavily by the fans or haters or however you want to say. And it starts with this, guys. As you guys know, the UFC does release usually their Embedded series where, they vlog, what goes on during fight weeks, whether that be the weigh-ins, the face-offs, whatever. And yeah, they've only released 2 episodes. There'll probably be another episode by the time that this video comes out, so I don't know how that's going to do, but typically, there's usually like a dip mid-week, and then maybe a rise for the press conference and weigh-ins for people that want to see it right before the fight happens. And yes, while these are all very new and they could grow, it's not looking good, okay? So first episode gets 450K views, which I understand people probably don't pay attention to the views on Embedded, but that is considered a bit low. We're even seeing the countdown get low numbers, and this one is even sadder. I mean, this is 246K 11 hours ago, granted, so yeah, it could, go back up, and maybe these are going to hit, 600,000, something like that. But the reason fans are absolutely clowning O'Malley is this, guys. We are seeing Bilal Muhammad pull better numbers than O'Malley right now. Yes, guys, episode 1 of the Embedded vlog. At this rate, guys, I mean, he has over 100K more views than Sean O'Malley. And I don't think this, is all entirely on Sean O'Malley. We've been talking about this. The UFC has clearly been declining, right? And I mean, I'm not saying this to say like the product itself, there's still some great fights. There's, this summer is amazing in terms of pay-per-view, but it just seems like that the UFC are missing opportunities time and time again. Like, we've just seen different fights fall through. Let's be honest, guys, this is definitely a dip in quality. You have to be honest about that. 2025, this is one of those years of MMA that have just been, all right, been decent. Hopefully the second half, if the John Jones-Tom Aspinall fight happens, that could change things. But I think fans are just sick of seeing these, fights that are just pushed down our throats, right? I mean, even this Sean O'Malley-Merab fight, like Sean O'Malley, he didn't really compel us to get a rematch. Let's be honest. I don't think many fans are super excited to see this rematch. And I don't necessarily have a problem with O'Malley getting a title shot, but it's just sad that there is no other contender. It just shows how dried up the UFC is. But guys, I do want to show you guys Sean O'Malley's final spar and some of the things that he said in this video that I think we should pay attention to, and then I'll give my prediction for Merab and O'Malley too. I'll talk to you guys about what I think is going to happen.
What's up, guys? It's Sugar Sean O'Malley, and I have the biggest fight of my life against the greatest bantamweight of all time, Merab Dvalishvili.
Oh,
June
wow.
7th.
So he said you called him already. So far already compliments to Merab, right? We kind of know that these two are friends, right? They were was that picture of them in the hot tub recently. So there's a lot of respect. But I think O'Malley is also doing this to big up himself, because at the end of the day, if you say Merab's the greatest bantamweight of all time, then if you lose to him, it's to the greatest ever, right? But if you beat him, you're going up against the, greatest bantamweight ever, and that could be you. And if O'Malley does go out there and beats Merab, the fact that he beat Aljamain and Merab, that's impressive, and you can't take that away. And I honestly think that there's a chance he does beat Merab. I'm going to get into my prediction, though, later.
So much pressure on Sean, and he knows how to deal with it. He knows how to just focus on what he can control, and he knows whatever's going to happen is going to happen. But this is a huge fight. Fighting for the UFC world title against a guy like this, there's a lot of pressure, but we've been in these pressure situations before, and just doing everything we can to go in there and know all the boxes are crossed, we've done everything we can, and now we just got to go let it go, trust his instincts, and see what happens.
All right, guys, so here's O'Malley preparing for that sparring footage, and he talks a little bit about like the injuries in his last camp, and I'll show you guys that too. But here, you can see O'Malley gearing up, and I mean, he actually shows a decent amount. I did see a bit of it, but we're gonna break it down. And for those of you guys that don't remember, O'Malley was dealing with injuries, before his fight with Merab. Couldn't even grapple. And here he's doing some pad work, but let's get to the sparring aspect of this, shall we? Let's actually take a look at the real meat. Oh, here we go. Here's what y'all are waiting for. There's Sean O'Malley, a little sparring. And I'm curious to see, because we haven't seen him fight in a long time. And you see already, look, he's kind of fighting a bit low, heavy on the legs, ready for the wrestling. Like, you could just tell his weight is just prompted down on his legs, So if Merab tries to lift one up, it could just stay on the ground. And a lot of feints, as we'd expect. And yeah, he looks good, to be honest. But obviously this is sparring. You're gonna look a lot better in sparring. And I think O'Malley, when he fights, he doesn't really, the nerves don't really get to him when he fights, it seems.
Ideal. Again,
and here, look,
to fight
let's hear
against
it.
someone like Merab, you really want to be able to do certain things. So yeah, sparring this camp has been. I haven't been limited in what I'm able to do.
For your confidence and just preparation, I'm sure it's a big difference.
Different fight camp, this camp compared to last camp.
There's been multiple fight camps where we're sparring the guy, and as soon as the guy grabs you, we have to stop it. I've had to be like, okay, you're going to try to grapple him, but as soon as you're able to get a hold of him, we got to stop it. We got to go back to our feet and just go back so he doesn't continue.
Yeah, and that obviously limits. You can't even practice wrestling exchanges.
And we've been having hard sparring.
Yeah.
You got the cardio to think a little bit more. A little bit more.
Let's hope. That's interesting, because cardio is going to be important for O'Malley, as we know. Merab's an animal. My prediction for this fight, I'm going to pick Merab, guys. But I'm going to say this. I think if anybody is going to be Merab right now, it's going to be O'Malley. O'Malley hits hard. I feel like he does fight, like I just said. He fights good under pressure, where he can find those openings to land that shot kind of like within those like split-second moments. And we've seen Merab rocked. Henry Cejudo rocked him. I mean, Umar, I don't think he really super rocked him, if I remember the fight correctly. And O'Malley never really got to rock him, but he hurt him to the body a few times. And the last fight with, O'Malley and Merab wasn't like, 5-0. Like, O'Malley did win some rounds, and he had a pretty nasty hip injury. So I think if he could defend the takedowns and actually grapple defensively, I think he could definitely win. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Check out my last video where I reacted to the Juliana Pena, Kayla Harris, and face-to-face. You guys are the best fan base MMA. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.